Hello and welcome to Win Over Depression. I am your host, Tamara Trotter. This podcast is dedicated to those who suffer with the mental illness but try every single day to feel better. This podcast is also dedicated to those who know someone who suffers with the mental illness and you want to learn more about this debilitating condition. Welcome to episode 107. Today, we'll be talking about perseverance. So let us first define what is perseverance. Perseverance is persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. So if we are persevering, we are persistent. We are definitely realizing that even though there may be a delay in what we're trying to achieve, it does not mean that we are going to be denied. Did you know that there are so many people who have absolutely no idea what their purpose is, and they are trying to figure that out? Do you know what your purpose is? When we know what our purpose is, we are better off in life. We are happier. We strive to attain more because we are driven by why we are here. When you suffer with the mental illness, oftentimes you are trying to figure out why you are here and what your purpose is. So I challenge you to dig deep inside and figure out, why exactly was I put on this earth to do? There are so many people who believe that there is no purpose to their life, but actually, all of us have a special assignment that we are supposed to fulfill while we are here. And your goal is to figure out exactly what that assignment is. For me, I know that my assignment is to share mental health awareness as much as I can, because I know that there are so many people who suffer from depression and it is undiagnosed. So my passion is to teach others about the techniques that they can use in order to feel better. When I was really sad and just not at my best, I remember thinking that I would always feel this way. But when I decided to be proactive and to really tackle my depression head on, I was able to decrease my symptoms and I no longer suffer from chronic depression. So my passion is to share my story with others so that they do not have to suffer as long as I did with this condition. So when we are persevering, that means that we know that eventually what we have set our minds to do is going to come to fruition. Did you know that success, 99.9% of success is perseverance? Because basically, many of the goals that you've set for yourself or things that you see other people doing, they're not as hard as it looks. But when you decide and make a decision that you're going to do something and you stick with that decision, that's when you see success. On yesterday, January 4th, 2023, I celebrated my 4th year doing this podcast. And I remember when I started the podcast, I had the vision in my mind 2 years prior. But I said to myself, after looking at other people doing podcasts and maybe comparing their skills to my skills, because I didn't exactly know how to do a podcast, and that's what kept me from starting it. But when I decided and made a decision that I was going to start the podcast, I have learned so much along the way. So when you really want to do something, and you sit down and you start to research and figure it out and you get started, now today I'm recording my 107th episode. So does this episode 107 look very different than my first episode? Absolutely. But guess what? The first episode was like a stepping stone for me. And now I'm on episode 107. Do you know that the average person who starts a podcast, they give up and they stop recording after their seventh episode? And so when we as human beings, we don't get what we want or the result that we're expecting, we sometimes give up. But when you persevere and you know that you have this talent, you have this skill, and all you have to do is tap into it, then you persevere. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about what happens when you persevere in life and you forget about the people who are telling you that you can't do it. You forget about the naysayers and you just continue to move forward. Because when you persevere, you are going to definitely not only improve your outcome, but you're going to be able to touch other people in such a special way. So what is it that you need to just persevere and push yourself to continue? Tell me in the comments. Do you know what your purpose is? And what do you need to do to keep moving forward? It's 2024 and we're looking for more. So let's get there.